It's really an honor to have everyone here this evening here at the Boston Foundation. Nothing pleases us more than to see a room filled with, really filled with promise. That's the way we think about it. You know, I want to remind everybody that this whole Success Boston effort came about because of some really bad news that we got about 8 years ago in a study, a first time ever study that told us of the Boston Public School graduates who enrolled in college, how many actually completed the degree. And it was very discouraging that it was only about a third. Only about a third. But the good thing was that the late Mayor Menino and all of us came together to try to do something about it. And Success Boston was born. And here we see today a very different picture than we found from that original study of tremendous progress. A much higher percentage now of young people, not only enrolling in college, but graduating. And that is very, very important because the research shows that if you just go to college for a little while and don't finish, there are not many benefits associated with doing that. The benefits come from completion, almost completely. And the benefits are enormous, as the research shows. Over their lifetimes, college graduates will make significantly more money in their careers than those who do not go to college. But there are many other benefits as well. College graduates tend to be more civically involved. They vote in much higher percentages than those who have not obtained college. They live much longer and have a much healthier life. There are very long lists of benefits that are very associated with college completion. You know, we all like to say that there are no silver bullets available to us to just solve everything. But I've come to think of college graduation as close to that silver bullet because the benefits are so immense. And I want to congratulate all our partners, many of whom are there. I think Winston's going to recognize everybody tonight. But there's a tremendous coalition of institutions, including, of course, the mayor's office, very prominently the school system, and we're going to hear from Superintendent Chang. A series of a bunch of great nonprofit organizations that have made this happen. But we still have a long way to go. But the progress we've made is great encouragement that this is doable. But what will be required at every stage, and is more important than anything anyone else can do, is the students' own commitment to finishing and to understanding what that is going to mean to their lives. So for you graduates who are here tonight, it's wonderful to see you. I congratulate you on your tremendous achievement. You are marking out a path that we hope and believe that thousands and thousands of your successors, graduates in the future from the Boston Public Schools, will achieve the great milestone that you have achieved. And the Boston Foundation is just so proud to be associated with your success. Thank you very much.
Being able to hear Mayor Walsh speak about the importance of young people like myself earning degrees was inspiring. And I know this is why all of us are gathered here today. I am glad that I was nominated to be a student speaker today because everyone here has pretty much helped me develop into the young woman that stands right in front of you. So, thank you. The other day, someone asked me what neighborhoods of Boston I have lived in, and I responded by saying, the real question is, what neighborhood of Boston haven't I lived in? Growing up, I moved around a lot, and I also came from a big family where, for the early years of my life, my mom over here was raising 4 young kids by herself. And although my mom struggled, I also struggled with talking to my mom about my successes with my education, and that made school and other things difficult at times. My father was introduced in my life in 2004, and I would need to learn to rebuild my relationship with him. This was right about the time where I also found out that I had some extra number of siblings, about 3, that I didn't know about. And this changed my life completely. Although I faced some obstacles growing up, I didn't stop them from letting me dream big. When I was little, I wanted to be a singer, a dancer, a princess, a lawyer, and this probably goes on. And I was convinced that I could be all those things I wasn't. Due to various obstacles, however, I missed a lot of days in school when I was in elementary. And although I was smart and capable, some of my teachers thought that I had a learning disability because I was often distracted by things outside the classroom and I could be quite rambunctious. However, I did have a few teachers who pushed me to the limits of my education. And with that, I attended high school at Dorchester Academy, where I did debate, I did cheerleading, I did track, and I held a number of leadership roles within my school. My senior year came around and I wasn't sure what school I wanted to attend or what I wanted to study. Neither one of my parents went to college, and that was a bit of a struggle. But they still pushed me to the limits, and they wanted me to do things that they hadn't done. But I didn't have certain steps to follow, and I didn't know everything that it would take to get me to college and to achieve. So at the end of high school, I was told that community college would be a good option for me, but I really didn't want to go because of the perception around it. I knew a lot of people looked down upon it, and I dreamt of always attending a 4-year college. Fortunately, however, I was connected with the Boston Pitt from high school, and they showed me that community college was affordable and accessible, and told me that if I worked hard, I could transfer to a 4-year institution and take advantage of my John and Abigail Adams scholarship that I was awarded in high school, and so I did. When I first arrived at Bunker Hill Community College, I found some classes and other parts of life to be difficult. I was living with my grandmother who had a lot of medical issues and still didn't have the stability and support that I needed to succeed. I also had never been a person who liked to ask for help. I was very critical of myself and didn't want people focused on me, like right now. That all changed, however, when I met my Success Boston coach, Annabelle, in 2013. When I first met Annabelle, I was hesitant. I thought she was going to ditch me. I thought to myself, why should I tell someone I don't know about my dreams and about my life? But what made me ultimately open up to Annabelle was how good of a listener she was. There are 2 types of people in life. People that listen to hear, and the people that listen to respond. Annabelle listens to hear. She truly listens to what I'm saying and what I'm feeling and what I need. Annabelle is someone who models unconditional love and support. She has always been patient and persistent with me, and she didn't give up on me. Even when I sometimes wanted to give up on myself. She continued to check on me to see how I was doing, and would be there waiting at Bunker Hill, even when I didn't ask. Annabelle, can you stand up? Guys, Annabelle is a real MVP. One of the great things about Success Boston is that in addition to the one-on-one support of a coach, you also get the support of a community. For instance, Rob Surt from the Boston Pitt has always supported me in my career endeavors. Rob helped me get a job at the Apple Store and continues to help me look for a summer internship. As you can see, although Success Boston students have coaches like Annabelle, or future coaches like Daniel that I will have, they also have the help of other supports along the way. Success Boston taught me that it's okay to ask for help, because it's how you learn, how you grow, and how you get connected to people and opportunities. Thanks to my hard work and to their support, and all of your support, I became the first in my family to graduate from college. And next fall, I am planning to attend the University of Massachusetts, Boston, to earn my bachelor's degree in business.
That's my baby.
Yeah, that's my mom. So my associates was for my family, but this degree will be for me. Also, because of my personal experience, I know that I want to give my children or my child the endless opportunities my parents wanted for me. So before I leave, I want everyone in the room to know that what we are doing here in Success Boston is so important and that we need to keep working together. Having Success Boston and the support of people like Annabelle and Daniel and Rob is essential for first-generation college students like me. People like Annabelle and places like the Boston Gym help fill that work that students like me need. Success Boston recognizes that it takes a village to raise a child. I hope we continue to put that forefront of our employment, put that at the forefront of our employment work. Sorry, guys. I am Claudia Torres, and I hope to explore the world, and one day I will do that. I'd like to start by saying that I developed my love for Boston public schools and education at a very young age. I too come from a young mother. She had me in high school, and I remember hearing stories a little later in life about how she would take me to class with her, and she didn't want to miss any classes because education was really important to her, and I think she got that from following my grandmother around the hallways of the charter school when she taught there. I also developed my love for education seeing my Aunt Zelda graduate from UMass Amherst when I was 5. I don't really remember much outside of the fact that she was very happy, my grandmother was very proud, and I had so many Lucky Charms. So these, my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, and many other women were incredibly influential to my life and my love for education way before I got enrolled into Boston Public Schools. I started off going to the Marshall, and the kindness and the compassion that my first teacher, my K2 teacher, Ms. Hart, had for me, I have really bad stage fright, and you guys are so lovely and nice, but like I need to take like 1 second. I'm just gonna talk to you, how about that? I'm not gonna read this, I'm just gonna talk. Okay, so I went to the Murphy, I went to the Marshall School, and my teacher, Ms. Hart, was very influential to me. And I still remember her name, and she taught me about respect and kindness and just taught me how to be a good person. And she was one of the first influential people in my life outside of my mother. And then I went to the Murphy School where I got into advanced work class, and I learned about the importance of working as an individual, but also working as a team to reach whatever goals you had. And from there, I went to Boston Latin School. It's like almost every 6th grade in the city, I took the ISE placement exam, and I got accepted, and I was super happy. I felt honored, I felt proud, I felt like I had made it. And my education at Boston Latin School was a fantastic one. And it in some ways shaped every educational choice I was gonna make after, because I received an education that was rigorous, one that was effective, one that was incredibly, basically they pushed you. And I felt like, though I was smart, I didn't get an education that was necessarily reflective of people who looked like me, or my history, or where I came from. And because of that, there were many times I had to find my own way in high school, and knowing I needed extra assistance, especially later when I was picking colleges, I reached out to Bottom Line and applied and got in, and got to get that extra assistance that I needed. I originally picked colleges that were elite, and I knew the name of, but I didn't really know anything about them. It wasn't until I met with my first Bottom Line coach, Miriam, who taught me that I had to pick colleges that were right for me. I knew I wanted urban school, I knew I wanted diversity, I knew I wanted great opportunities, and honestly, a lot of the schools on my original list didn't fit that. So I had to rewrite everything and pick schools that were in line with what I wanted to do. And that's how I ended up at UMass Boston, which is perfect. It's an urban institution, research-based, they have diversity in classes, in opportunities, in people. And it allowed me to really thrive and give back to the community, which is one of their focuses. I think that, I know that after my first semester at UMass Boston, I knew that was exactly where I was supposed to be. I had met a community that worked hard, that was proactive, and it just felt like home. They allowed me to think critically, they allowed me to ask questions, and they inspired my desire to change injustices. Just this past Friday, I graduated from UMB with Winston and other college graduates. BS in Psych and Sociology, and I did that because I wanted to learn how to navigate the world that I was going into, and I didn't think there was a way to do that without knowing about the world I had lived in. And I plan to take what I've done and become a life coach so I can help other people foster their dreams. And I know I wouldn't be able to do this without classmates like Hannah, my bestest friend in the world, and my friend Ralston. I know I wouldn't be able to do it without my bottom line family, which include Mike, John, Shanita, Yorkie, who aren't here anymore, and most recently Chanel, who I awkwardly pointed out in the beginning. And also members of the Success Boston community like Liliana, like Daniel, who taught me how success isn't just a name, but it's the work you put in every day and what you give back. I would especially like to thank my mother and my grandmother who are over there, and also my aunt. My whole family's here, I rolled deep. I'd like to thank them for breaking boundaries, for teaching me to persevere with grace, with poise, and to give back. But I'm not only standing here to tell you about myself, I'm also standing here because I think every young person, regardless of where they come from or regardless of what they look like, have the right to a quality education that has representation of themselves in the books, in their projection, because it's so crucial. It's so incredibly crucial. And they should be afforded that opportunity. So in the end, I just want to congratulate everyone who graduated this year, 2016. And I just want to say we did it, and now it's our turn to show the others how to do it too. Thank you.
Before we start, actually, I would love to just kind of react to the student speakers. It's never easy to go after young people. Winston, thank you for just being so gracious. I love your demeanor up here, and like you are the perfect host. So thank you for that, Claudia. The pride that you show for your education, the pride your mom shows, that came out so strongly. Oh, okay. So yeah, I agree. And I'm just so looking forward to what you're going to accomplish next when you go to UMass Boston. And then Jasmine, where's Jasmine?
She walked out.
She walked out, Jasmine. Okay, Jasmine, I'm talking to you. The camera is rolling. Jasmine. I want to first say thank you for your courageous comments about the importance of your own identity, because one of the pieces of work that we are trying to do in BPS is to create an instructional program that sustains the cultural and linguistic strengths that our young people bring into the classroom, as opposed to stomping on it. And I say that deeply from a personal place because I, as an immigrant to this country, I know my personal identity was often stomped upon when I was going to school. And it wasn't until much later in life when I discovered my own voice. But Jasmine, at such a young age, was so able to articulate that. So she rolls deep because she's got parents and families that are deeply proud. So please tell Jasmine to watch that video. So first of all, thank you to all the leaders in this room. Thank you to all the key partners of Success Boston. The partnership between BPS and Success Boston is truly closing opportunity achievement gaps for young people in Boston. I want to kind of tailor my comments to Success Boston participants. This message is kind of mainly for you. So I just want to get a sense of how many of you are in here. How many of you graduated from college already? You're already through college and you were supported through Success Boston. Can you raise your hand? Guys, just give them a round. How many of you are currently in college still, working towards your degree and being supported by Success Boston? Can you raise your hand? Just curious, are any of you on your way to college? You're going into college? Are there any recent grads? Great. English high school. Great. When I look at you, you represent a diversity that is Boston. You represent a diversity that is America. And just remember, as I said, they are your strengths. You are well-rounded. you've been successful academically, but more importantly, you challenge yourselves out of the classroom. When I read these bios of the young people, what stands out is not, for me, what university they graduated. Not just that, it's all the work that you've done to contribute back to your community. First-time college students whose parents may not have earned a four-year degree, tend to be highly passionate about their own learning, and they work extremely hard, they persevere. And while I'm not a first-time college grad, my father did graduate from college in another country. I didn't get very much support applying for colleges. I still remember applying for colleges on the typewriter, and young people here probably don't even know what a typewriter looks like. You can see it at the museum. But I remember having to navigate that very difficult process, and when Jasmine talks about finding the right college, I didn't have that support to find the right college, the just right college for them. There's becoming more and more research about the importance of picking the right college to your ability to kind of get through a college. But I know I had other supports from my parents. I mean, we are blessed and have the privilege of having parents that were able to support me financially. And so now I recognize, while I did not have kind of the technical support, I had a lot of still emotional support from them. But young people, look around the room. Like, I've heard this over and over again. You have a whole room of people that are supporting you. So I want you to just actually take a moment, look to your left, look to your right, and give them just a high five and say thank you for your support. Thank you for doing that. This is that supportive community that's going to get you through to college and make sure that you meet your fullest potential and keep driving towards your goals. The workforce of tomorrow, and you know what, ultimately this work is not only into and through college, it's really to get you into a living wage job. That's ultimately the ultimate mission, right? You want to be contributing back to the world around you. But the workforce of tomorrow are going to need you. You're going to be at the table making the most important decisions for our country. They need the diversity that's in this room. They need the linguistic strengths in this room. They need the cultural strengths that exist in this room. So you are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. I'm just super, super proud of all your accomplished so far. Super proud of the accomplishments you will have, you will be making into the future. And just don't ever forget, this is a room of people that are going to make sure you get to your goals. Thank you so much.
Success Boston is really all about the city's success. So our success as a city is dependent on our success in turning out young people who are able to succeed. That was too many of the words succeed in one sentence, right? But the gist of it is that we fail if we don't do right by our city's young people, period, and exclamation mark. So this is a celebration of your success. Going off into the workforce. Some of you have already graduated and already matriculated into a four-year institution. Some of you have graduated and already started working. Some of you have graduated and are looking for a job. How many of you does that apply? All right, come on, put them up high. Now, how many people in the room work at places that are hiring? All right. All right. So part of that, get ready, get in, get through, and get connected. So that's that last strand. So one of the things that we're going to be intentional about this year is trying to connect our graduates so that they actually are working in careers, not just jobs, careers that matter to them, and are able to offer them a living wage to be able to live and thrive in the city where they're from. Right? That sound good to everybody? So what I want to do is just start the recognition part of our event. What I'm going to ask is that we're going to ask the students who are graduating based by the organization that they were coached by to come up. I'll introduce each organization one by one. For some of those organizations, there's a student who's going to come up and share some brief remarks about themselves and their experience. And then we have some extra treats at the end. Any questions? Treats look good, right? Food good? Shout out to Fresh Food Generation. Local business. All right, so we're going to start with American Student Assistance. So if you were coached by American Student Assistance, so I don't have a good collection of who exactly came. So, okay, so we have Did Helen make it? Did Ruth? Where's Ruth? Ruth. You're here. And Nancy, did Nancy make it? No. So, Winston Pierre recently graduated from UMass Boston. And Ruth Cormier recently graduated from Bunker Hill Community College and has already started at Lesley University. One of the treats that we want to offer for each, and I won't make it as long-winded for everyone else going forward, but we have a special business card holder emblazoned with the successful Boston logo for each of our recent graduates. All right, so now, the Boston Private Industry Council. Can I ask all the students who were coached by the Boston PIC to please come up front, as well as Daquan Freeman, please come to the podium. He's coming. Here we go. And all students, recent graduates from the Boston PIC. And Daquan, you have something you want to share?
All right, so basically, we're all here because we had a great group of people supporting us through our way in college. For me and Claudia, it's been great, like essential for first-time students who have nobody else in the family or the household who graduated from college to like have somebody to help plan and execute and do all the things that we never knew that we had to do. Like senior year, we're looking around like just stunned, and we don't know what to do, you know? So having them as a support team was great, and it really helped me get to where I needed to go. And now I'm on a path where I can help other people get where they need to go. So it's just perpetuating the cycle, and we're gonna do it one individual at a time until everybody's where they need to be.
So next, High Square Task Force, and can I have Jonathan De Leon to the podium?
Hello everyone. My name is Jonathan. I recently graduated Institute of Technology. Congratulations to my fellow graduates, and they just keep moving, helping our sisters, nephews, daughters in my case. Thank you for emails, meetings, phone calls, text messages, and thanks to everyone who played a role in my life, graduation, and what's coming next.
I know we have Lasari and Larice here. So, Lasari and Larice were also coached by High Square Task Force, and both recently graduated from Bunker Hill Community College. And the Lorenzo family had a really good week, right? Because yesterday, their younger sister was recognized as a valedictorian at Langley High School. All right, next up, can we have UMass Boston, and Michaela Niles, and as well as any students coached by the campus-based success coaches at UMass Boston.
So hello, my name is Michaela, and I just graduated from UMass Boston. And Success Boston has really been my support system. Like you said, the texts, the phone calls. I remember before I even started at UMass, I had a voicemail message from Alexa, my coach, introducing me to Success Boston. That was the best voicemail ever because it introduced me to everything here. So thank you, Alexa, and Success Boston.
Congratulations. Get your business card home. Next up, can we have Bottom Line? Just on behalf of Bottom Line.
I would just like to thank Bottom Line for literally every single thing they did, because without them, like, FAFSA is really hard. This was really hard. To help with summer jobs, like, Bottom Line, my heart, thank you for literally everything. Because without you guys, I wouldn't even have stayed at UMass. And I loved the school and my experience, so thanks.
And next up, we have Freedom House and Lilybeth Pimentel.
Tucker. Come on, Tucker.
That's how you do it.
Okay, so I wasn't prepared for this because, of course, that's how my coach rolls, and he doesn't tell me these things. But I want to thank my coach, Juan David, for always supporting me and always texting me and calling me and making sure I show up to these meetings. It really helped me. He was always a shoulder to lean on, along with the rest of Success Boston. So I just want to thank you guys for supporting us through it all, and we're done. So thank you.
But she did graduate, so, you know.
Eric, one more.
One more. Oh, Jesse.